We're here with Dave at CCxRC, and he's got a really cool FMS SCX24 kind of concoction that he's created, I would say.
Yeah.
That I'm interested in seeing a little bit of what he's done. So I asked him if he'd show it to all of us, because I know so many people have these, and there's not a whole lot of upgrade parts for this on its own. But you found a way to make it.
There is
there's
now
a ton of upgrade parts.
So now you can use the Axial overdrive.
Yeah.
Or the CCxRC overdrive. You can use the brass and the diff covers. These are just the SSD wheels with the brass rings, because I was modeling it after my real FJ.
Yep.
And
oh yeah, you have a real beautiful blue FJ like this.
So then I was able to throw the Hyrax on there with the brass wheel nuts. And then on top of that, I used the skid plate from the SCX24 and just used a couple screws with existing holes in the frame, so I didn't have to drill anything, which was nice. There's a couple mounting points in the frame for each upper link, so I could keep my lower links into the stock SCX24 skid plate here and here.
Right.
So I've still got a nice slide, and these don't hang me up.
But you put these on the outside, that should be noted.
Right.
They're not on the, normally they'd be on the internal here.
And then the rears, I just left stock for the moment till I figure out the size, and they're mounted into the frame where the stock ones normally mount, so I didn't change anything there as far as geometry. And then I even got away with using one of the either Racing or Hot Racing metal drive shafts. I just hadn't done the rear yet, so I think I'm going to use a Gladiator rear, because I shouldn't have to trim it down or do anything like that.
Right.
And then also,
I'm looking at the links, so these are, so your upper link looks like the C10 one as far as I can tell.
right,
But you have it mounted further
into the stock
forward
chassis
into
mount.
the chassis.
Yeah,
Okay.
which was nice because it threaded right in.
Because these are like long, like they'd be almost your rear end of a Jeep or C10.
Right.
So you've got, I mean, it's a stretched.
And it was funny because it was so easy to do. Everything just mounted into a stock hole.
Yeah.
I didn't have to drill anything. I didn't have to modify anything. And again, with these, just 2 screws here. The links are going to hold it in place. And I actually went through the outside of these link mounts, so the screws are pressed up against the frame, so that it doesn't teeter totter.
It doesn't
it's a
switch,
C-channel.
yeah, because it's grooved in there.
Yep.
And those lock it in place.
Yep. And then the Furitek motor and ESC.
Komodo fits in there. You had to cut out
nothing. I trimmed the interior.
Okay, yeah.
Just a bit, and I actually trimmed it more than I probably needed to.
Okay.
So I could have got away with more.
A little.
Yeah.
Smooth though with that, right?
Oh man, butter, butter. I've been overly impressed with how nice it is now.
Shocks are stock?
Shocks are stock right now.
To the FMS.
Yeah.
Which, how did they mount up to here? Pretty easy.
I mounted them to
because the axles, because they've
the
got
stock mounting position, and this is all SCX24 stock hardware.
And so these
now all
just
my
push
tools.
on. These are just press on, right? And
No, I actually took. I took out of the stock SCX24 links. I took the balls out of there.
I
put those in,
the.
and then just run a screw through it. And they don't come off. They don't slide. I haven't had them pop apart on me. I haven't done anything.
Which it's a little narrower, but it doesn't seem to create any super issues.
Yeah, there's no bind. Everything's still clear. It stays smooth. I get full travel suspension. I don't rub on my fenders or my bumper at all.
Wow.
And then the rear, it's nice and tucked inside the fender well like a scale truck.
So what tires are those? So you're about the length of, that's probably about the length of a Gladiator.
Probably really close. This is a Gladiator chassis that I use different rear links on just to fit this body. So I bet I'm probably pretty close to a Gladiator chassis, or wheelbase.
Okay.
Maybe not right on, but really close.
This is Gladiator rear?
This is a Gladiator, but this is deadbolt rear links.
Okay, so yeah, you shortened it because it's
for this body. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, I'm running really close with how that's set up. Yeah, it mounts.
And so these are probably, these look like the fronts of a C10. These are probably the other ones. Those are your rears from this. Okay.
Yep. And this was all just spare stuff I had laying around because I've got so much of the 24 pieces and parts.
Yeah.
It was beyond easy to fabricate. Well, not fabricate, just basically bolt in. So I didn't have to modify a bunch of stuff. I didn't have to order anything.
Just made a super capable FMS FJ.
Yep.
Brushless.
Furitek ESC and
motor.
motor.
There's so many upgrade parts for these, it just makes it
now it's easy.
so easy, yeah.
And then on top of that, with being able to run the stock electronics in here and then having this body that's over top of everything, my ESC and motor sit on a what would be an SCX10-2 running board.
Okay.
So my ESC is mounted on one side, my receiver's mounted on the other, two-sided tape, flat. It's not going to bounce around
You
in
just
there.
added them into here, the running boards?
No, they can't. They're part of the body.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just literally two-sided tape to either
The
side.
FMS body parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't have to do anything.
So how hard is it to take the top off to get in there?
You've got 2 screws here and 2 screws here. That will get your body off.
Okay.
And then this chassis, all the black, is all one piece. So then you've got 2 screws here. So you've got one back there, and then you've got another set. That are underneath your frame rails.
But once you take it off, you can get to it.
Yeah, once you drop your chassis off, then you can get to the 4 screws that hold the this plastic onto this body. So now you have 3 pieces. You have your chassis, you have your black, basically interior, and then you have your body separate.
Nice.
Super, super simple. I couldn't believe how easy it was.
Can we see it run?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see where.
Because yeah, it looks cool, right?
And I'm even now running a Spectrum radio.
Oh wow, because you got room inside there to do it.
Right. I had to do to make this FMS battery work was I trimmed 2 tabs off the side. So I just make sure I plug red into red and black into black, and I didn't have to even ditch that battery.
Oh, you just plug it right into the Furitek?
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. So we're red to red, black to black, and just make sure your pins line up.
So much control.
Yeah. So much more smooth. It got rid of the jerky stuff like the 24s and the first receivers and ESCs.
Did I see it twisting?
Yeah. And I like now that I can use the Axial overdrive or whatever overdrive I get my hands on.
Yeah, all these systems are changing these mini ones. So cool. And on here it looks like a 10 scale, you know, like on video. Except for the white servo horn. Right. The giveaway.
Right.
Straight axle.
Right. Well, they do it. They do swap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. And I can go a little bit taller on the tire if I want to, because I've got the room now in the wheel wells. And I'm like you in the regard that I would much rather see it flex and move, the suspension move, than try and zip through.
Yeah, the slow like this, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super capable looking.
Lipoed out.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because I haven't charged
You
it.
don't even know yet.
I haven't charged it since I got it.
That's awesome.